So let's talk about the Atom Project. There's the big Atom and the little Atom. So how did it all come about? How did the project come about? Not the project, but the film project.
The film project came about, Sean Levy and I had just finished Free Guy together, and we were immediately looking for another opportunity to tell an original story. Free Guy was one of those rare films these days that is a wholly original idea that worked theatrically. And it was just, for us, that felt incredible. And we love IP and we love superhero movies and we love all that stuff. But this was a special experience, and we really wanted to keep that sort of train marching along. So David Ellison, who runs Skydance, had been telling me about this project called the Atom Project, and he ended up flying to New York. Now, David Ellison, if you know him, you know that if he's flying somewhere to see you, it's like really serious. So he came to New York, he pitched me this story, which I'm glad because I didn't read it right away. So it left all this room for imagination. And then I pitched it to Sean. And of course, when I read the script, it wasn't exactly what I'd pitched, but we just sort of retrofitted it to that. And we just fell in love with every aspect of it. It sort of ticked all these wild boxes for us of nostalgia and warmth. And it felt like one of those big wish fulfillment movies with huge stakes and high concept, but it was really about something very personal as well, which is sort of what I loved about movies in the 80s, what I loved about E.T. and Back to the Future and anything that Amblin did, Goonies. And, it just felt like it sort of harkened back to that kind of filmmaking. And in the period we live in right now, it felt timely. So
I hear you're a huge Deadpool fan, that you can recite lines from Deadpool.
Yeah. Probably not going to want to do that here.
Yeah, I don't think I should do that.
So what was it like meeting Ryan for the first time, knowing that he's obviously Deadpool?
Well, I met him on the Zoom, and it was definitely weird to see him like actually interacting with me. But in person, I know I say this a lot, but he's like way taller than I thought he would be.
Yeah. So how short do you think I'm wearing the 4-inch lifts as well, so
I thought he was gonna be like 6'1".
Turns out I'm 6'2". Which is insane. Yeah. This guy's amazing, though. I mean, we read, 147,000 kids, it felt like. And then Walker read, and it was just instant. It was utterly instant. And I think it was because he'd watched Deadpool 1 and 2 thousands of times. He knew them backwards and forwards. So it just logically worked so well because he could be a mini me in all of these sequences. But he did some unexpected stuff too. You brought so much heart to this movie. And that was the thing that I think blew both me and Sean Levy away. It's pretty special what you did.
And it's not like you've done that many movies. You listening to that praise?
This is the first movie or it's my first time on screen. Yeah. I think, yeah.
You think?
I think.
Well, there was an ultrasound when his mom was pregnant with him. So other than that, this is maybe the second time. Yeah.
So what's your advice you have for someone who's starting in the biz?
I don't have advice for Walker because, usually kids getting into this industry is a cautionary tale we all know too well. But this guy has an amazing home life. He has incredible siblings. He has incredible parents who get that head screwed on just right. And he's going to be just fine. He sort of understands the sort of weirdness of this business enough already. And, I like to think that working on our set with myself and Sean was probably a pretty great place to do your first movie. It's a safe environment, and that's how it should be. Yeah.
So let's talk about the stunt work in the movie. Obviously, there's a lot. Does Ryan Reynolds get hurt? Do you go home aching now?
Yeah, I mean, you're not allowed to eat Advil like cereal, but things start to hurt. I mean, after I turned 35, being thrown onto cement wasn't hilarious anymore. It was, it had been upgraded to hell. The stunts are part of it. I like physicality, though. I really like physicality in movies. I think it's important to do as much of it yourself as you can. But I'll step aside when there's something that's just too gnarly. There's a trained professional ready to go.
So we have to talk a little more about Deadpool. Tell me everything about your appearance in the Doctor Strange movie.
Oh wow, Mark. It's like the least covert trap I've ever seen in my life.
You know what? Is there a point of me saying to you, are you in the Doctor Strange movie?
I don't know. That was a 1978 leg hold trap from Russia. Like I saw that from 100 miles away. Yeah, I'm not really supposed to. I guess I'm really not supposed to say anything about that. But I'm really not in the movie.
I'm not supposed to say anything, but I'm really not in the movie. You just said something, and you could be lying. And you could be lying to me.
I could be an unreliable narrator, but I promise you, I'm not in the movie. Yeah.
I took camera, tell all those people
we're good.
Not in that movie.
We're good. We're good. There's a team of people that will neutralize you as soon as you leave here.
So next Deadpool movie, you got apart from I'm putting you on the spot.
Sure as hell hope so. How do you feel about it? Are you gonna like come with some crazy rider? Maybe 1 billion brown M&Ms and like thrice combed unicorn hair in your dressing room every day. Yeah. No.
Is that allowed?
That is allowed, actually. Yeah. Actually, come to think of it, I scratched that. I never said that.
There's probably a lot more that's allowed.
A lot more that's allowed. Yeah. But yeah.
So how is the new movie coming along?
See, it's coming along.
Is there a script? What do we got?
You're not getting anything today, Mark. I'm sorry. We're here to talk about the Adam Project on Netflix, March 11th.
March 11th, The Adam Project, which is actually very fun and very emotional. It was much more emotional than I thought.
I know. It sneaks up on you.
Yeah.
It's one of those movies where it's just you're laughing. I always think of it like the Mary Pickford model, which is make them laugh, make them cry, bring them back to laughter. And if you can do that, done it. You've made something worth watching. That's for sure.
Or modern day Mary Pickford. That's what
everyone says it, my friend. Heading back to Pickfair after this, actually up the hill. So yeah.
Well, I love the references though in the movie. Obviously, there's the Star Wars reference. Mm-hmm. Would you ever do a Star Wars movie?
Would I ever do a Star Wars movie? I don't. I mean, that would be a real hard thing to say no to. But it's honestly, I'm not making this up. It's not something I've ever thought of.
I want 10% now.
There you go. Yeah, we'll see.
And then I love when Walker goes into the superhero pose because that was good. Was that in the script or was it improvised?
Oh, that was something we kind of talked about early on. It really just was something that was organic to Walker. Mm-hmm. He kind of knew that moment almost better than I knew that moment, even though I originated that moment. Yeah, he was ready to go. So that was kind of fun, right? Because also you got to ride those crazy harnesses and fly up in the air 50 feet and land. And that's probably felt pretty good, right?
When the time soldier guy, when he like grabs me and then I go like flying up into that glass wall thing. Yeah, that was really cool.
Yeah, and high, right? Like you went way up.
Yeah, that was like 20 feet.
Was that the scariest stunt you did?
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
You did good. It looked real.
Maybe it was a superhero landing because if I hit my foot on that railing.
Yeah. You went, the superhero landing, that was a big one. That was
when you did the landing, you could see it on your face how happy you were. Oh, yeah. You're like, I am a bleeping superhero.
Yeah. Well, you should hear all the lines we cut out. this kid, he's got a potty mouth, just like me.
So if you could go back to your 12-year-old self, what would you tell him? What would be your big advice?
Oh, what would I tell my 12-year-old self? Plastics. No, I would probably say, oh man, I don't know. I think like I lived in my head so much. And I think I would probably tell my 12-year-old self, like, man, like just enjoy this moment because like one day it's going to be so much worse. It's living in your head stuff. Soon you just have your face staring at a phone all day. So yeah, I'd probably tell him to just lighten up, enjoy it, Well,
the 12-year-old Ryan turned out pretty good.
Yeah, he did all right.
You did all right.
Did okay, yeah.